You ever see someone walk into a room and just own it? They're not always the richest or the best-looking person there, but people just seem to gravitate towards them. We usually just call that charisma and figure, hey, you're either born with it or you're not. But what if I told you that's just not true? What if charisma is actually a skill, one that's backed by science, and that anyone, including you, can learn?
Okay, so let's get into it. Today, we're breaking down some really powerful techniques from Lyle Lowndes' bestseller, How to Be a People Magnet. And the reason this book is so powerful is that her advice isn't just, her opinion. Every single tip is backed up by actual sociological and psychological studies. So think of this as your practical, science-based guide to making real connections.
Come on, we've all had that feeling. You're at a party, maybe a work event, and you're surrounded by people, but you might as well be invisible. It's like there's this weird wall between you and everybody else. Well, that feeling, that's exactly what we're going to dismantle today.
All right, first things first, we have got to bust this huge myth that you're either born a people magnet or you're not. That is just wrong. Charisma is a set of skills. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can absolutely master it.
And this is a point Lowndes makes right out of the gate. The people who are truly magnetic, the ones who really draw others in, they aren't always the ones with the obvious advantages. Nope. They're the ones who've mastered a bunch of small, subtle techniques that make other people feel seen, feel important, and feel comfortable. And that is a skill anyone can learn.
So let's get practical. You've got about 7 seconds. That's it. 7 seconds to make a first impression. We're going to look at a couple of super high-impact tools you can use to make every single one of those seconds count. And we'll start with the most powerful tool you have, your smile.
We all know that quick, polite little flash smile, right? It doesn't really do anything. But Lowndes points out that the secret ingredient to a truly sincere smile is timing. She tells this great story about a grumpy old man who just couldn't help but smile back when a baby gave him this slow, genuine, all-encompassing grin. That's the kind of power we're talking about.
So here's how you do it. It's called the slow spillover smile. First, you just look at the other person's face. Don't smile yet. Just pause for a split second like you're really taking them in. Then you let a big, warm smile flood your entire face and really reach your eyes. It sends a message that this smile is genuine and is just for them. It is so, so powerful.
Okay, here's another tool from the research, and this one is super subtle, but wow, it works. It's called the trifling touch. This is a very fleeting, totally non-threatening, almost accidental feeling touch. Like when your hands briefly brush as you're handing someone a business card. Studies show that this tiny bit of physical contact creates this unconscious feeling of warmth and connection. It's like you're saying, hey, I see you, without saying a word.
Okay, so you've nailed the first impression without saying anything. What's next? Well, this is the real heart of connection. Listening. And trust me, it's way more complex than just keeping your mouth shut. In fact, the way you show you're listening can be completely misunderstood depending on who you're talking to.
This slide breaks down a fascinating finding. According to Lowndes' research, many men are taught to listen like a nail. That means standing very still, making direct eye contact. That signals deep concentration. All those little ahas can actually feel like an interruption. On the flip side, many women learn to listen like a dunking duck, where constant nodding and little verbal affirmations are essential to show you're engaged. Just knowing this one difference can literally save you from ever hearing, "You're not even listening to me," ever again.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. These one-on-one skills are fantastic, but Lowndes also lays out a long-term strategy for building a really rich social life. And it's not just about making friends randomly. It's about deliberately building a real support system.
She has this amazing metaphor for it. She calls it recruiting your own Knights of the Round Table. Now, these aren't just any old friends. These are people who have specific skills and knowledge that you can call on when you need help, and, just as importantly, who you can help in return. It's about shifting from passive friendship to actively building a network of mutual support.
I mean, just think about it, right? Your car breaks down. Isn't it incredible to have a friend who's a mechanic? Or a friend who's a lawyer when you need some quick advice? By intentionally building a diverse circle of knights, you're creating this powerful, mutually supportive team to help you navigate pretty much anything life throws at you. All right, let's get to the big one. The part of human connection that feels the most like magic. Romantic chemistry. We've all felt it, but what is it really? Well, believe it or not, science has an answer, and it is fascinating.
You know that feeling? You meet someone and it's just bam, your heart's pounding, you feel kind of giddy, you literally can't stop thinking about them. It feels like this crazy, irrational, cosmic force is pulling you together. But it turns out it's not cosmic at all. It's chemical.
Here's the wild part. That whole idea of being high on love, it's not a metaphor. It is literal. When you are infatuated with someone, your brain gets flooded with a powerful cocktail of chemicals, basically natural amphetamines, that create this amazing state of euphoria, energy, and obsession.
So meet the main culprit. It's a chemical called phenylethylamine. Let's just call it PEA. It's in the same family as amphetamines, and it is the reason you get that can't eat, can't sleep, totally head over heels feeling when you're first falling for someone. Your brain is giving you a natural high.
But here's the catch, and honestly, this might be the most important piece of information in this whole explainer. Like any high, that PEA rush doesn't last forever. The research is very clear on this. Your brain's production of PEA in a relationship has a natural shelf life. It typically lasts somewhere between 1.5 to 3 years. And knowing this is so liberating. So many people panic and think their relationship is failing when that initial crazy intensity starts to fade. It's not. It's a totally normal biological transition. It's just nature's way of shifting a relationship from that fiery infatuation into a more stable, comfortable bond that's built on different chemicals, like oxytocin. Just knowing that can literally save a relationship.
So, from a simple, slow smile all the way to the brain chemistry of love, we've covered a lot of ground. But the real power isn't in just knowing all this stuff. It's in actually using it. So, my question for you is this. Which one of these tools are you going to put into practice today? Because becoming a people magnet starts right there, with that first, small, intentional step.